أنت وما أنت خالقه فيها إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ملء 7 بحارك، وصل على سيدنا محمد زنة 7 بحارك مما حملت وأقلت من قدرتك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد أمواج بحارك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد الرمل والحصى في مستقر الأرضين وسهلها وجبالها من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد اضطراب المياه العذبة والملحة من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقته على جديد أرضك في مستقر الأرضين شرقها وغربها سهلها وجبالها وأوديتها وطريقها وعامرها وغامرها إلى سائر ما خلقته عليها وما فيها ومدر وحجر من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي عدد نبات الأرض من قبلتها وشرقها وغربها وسهلها وجبالها وأوديتها وأشجارها وثمارها وأوراقها وزروعها وجميع ما يخرج من نباتها وبركاتها من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من الجن والإنس والشياطين وما أنت خالقه منهم إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل شعرة في أبدانهم وفي وجوههم وعلى رؤوسهم منذ خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد خفقان الطير وطيران الجن والشياطين من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل بهيمة خلقتها على جديد أرضك من صغير أو كبير في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها من إنسها وجنها ومما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد خطاهم على وجه الأرض من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من يصلي عليه، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من لم يصل عليه، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد القطر والمطر والنبات، وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل شيء. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد في الليل إذا يغشى، وصل على سيدنا محمد في النهار إذا تجلى، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرة والأولى، وصل على سيدنا محمد شابا زكيا، وصل على سيدنا محمد كهلا مرضيا، وصل على سيدنا محمد منذ كان في المهد صبيا، وصل على سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الصلاة شيء. اللهم وأعط سيدنا محمدا المقام المحمود الذي وعدته الذي إذا قال صدقته وإذا سأل أعطيته اللهم وأعظم برهانه وشرف بنيانه وأبلج حجته وبين فضيلته اللهم وتقبل شفاعته في أمته واستعملنا بسنته وتوفنا على ملته واحشرنا في زمرته وتحت لوائه واجعلنا من رفقائه وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا بكأسه وانفعنا بمحبته اللهم آمين. وأسألك بأسمائك التي دعوتك بها أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد عدد ما وصفت ومما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت أن ترحمني وتتوب علي وتعافيني من جميع البلاء والبلوى وأن تغفر لي وترحم المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات وأن تغفر لعبدك المذنب الخاطئ الضعيف وأن تتوب عليه إنك غفور رحيم. اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم إني أسألك بحق ما حمل كرسيك من عظمتك وقدرتك وجلالك وبهائك وسلطانك وبحق اسمك المخزون المكنون الذي سميت به نفسك وأنزلته في كتابك واستأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك وأسألك باسمك الذي إذا دعيت به أجبت وإذا سئلت به أعطيت وأسألك باسمك الذي وضعته على الليل فأظلم وعلى النهار فاستنار وعلى السماوات فاستقلت وعلى الأرض فاستقرت وعلى الجبال فرست وعلى الصعبة فذلت وعلى ماء السماء فسكبت وعلى ماء السحاب فأمطرت وأسألك بما سألك به سيدنا محمد نبيك وأسألك بما سألك به سيدنا آدم نبيك وأسألك بما سألك به أنبياؤك ورسلك وملائكتك المقربون صلى الله عليهم أجمعين وأسألك بما سألك به أهل طاعتك أجمعين أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من قبل أن تكون السماء مبنية والأرض مطحية والجبال مرسية والعيون منفجرة والأنهار منهمرة والشمس مضحية والقمر مضيئا والكواكب منيرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد علمك وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد حلمك وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما أحصاه اللوح المحفوظ من علمك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما جرى به القلم في أم الكتاب عندك وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء سماواتك وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك وصل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد ملء ما أنت خالقه من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد صفوف الملائكة وتسبيحهم وتقديسهم وتحميدهم وتمجيدهم وتكبيرهم وتهليلهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد السحاب الجارية والرياح الزارية من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد كل قطرة تقطر من سماواتك إلى أرضك وما تقطر إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما هبت الرياح وعدد ما تحركت الأشجار والأوراق والزروع وجميع ما خلقت في قرار الحفظ من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد القطر والمطر والنبات من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد النجوم في السماء من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في بحارك السبعة مما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت وما أنت خالقه إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد عدد الرمل.
Hayrola, âle ezvacı tahirat evladı Resulü ashab-ı güzin efendilerimizin sair enbiya azam ve Resulü kiram-ı haziratın ervah şeriflerine birimiz Belal-i Habeşi radiyallahu anh efendimizin mihmandarı Resulü Kibriya Eyyub Sultan Halid bin Zeyd Eba Eyyub el-Ansari radiyallahu anh, Şah Murşidan, Şah Hacı Muhammed Bahattin Nakşibendi Bukhari, Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi, Mevlana Ziyaddin Halil Bağdadi, sahibu zaman Kıbletul İslam, Şeyh Mevlana Muhammed Nazım Adil Hakkani, sahibu Seyf Şeyh Abdülkerim Kıbrıs Rabbani Kaddesallahu Esraruhum Haziratın Ervahi için, Hadimul Harameyn-i Şerifeyn, Yavuz Sultan Selim Han, Emel Fatih vel Mavazi Fatih Sultan Mehmet Han ve Serdar Hakan Sultan Abdülhamid Han Cennet Mekan, Firdevs-i Aşiyan Haziratın Ervahi ve ani enayetine, alal husus bu caminin bayinesi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş İmam Muazzin Kayyim, cemaatin ve kafe ehli iman ervahı için, Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnna Allah ve melâiketuhu yusallûne alen nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne âmenû sallu aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya alas-salah. Hayya alas-salah. Hayya alel-felah. Hayya alel-felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
La ilahe illallah. Seyyidina Muhammed Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Elhamdülillah. Elhamdülillah. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmetullah Teala ve nestağfir ve eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh. Ve eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluhu sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve ashabi tabi khulafa'ir raşidin mahdinin ba'di. وزراء أمتي على تحقيق خصوصا منهم على الأميت خلفاء رسول الله على تحقيق أمير المؤمنين حضرة أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعلى باقي الصحابة التابعين رضوان الله عليهم أجمعين. يا أيها المؤمنون الحاذرون يتقوا الله تعالى إن الله حمل الذين اتقوا الذين هم محسنون الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who says in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Fusilat, BismillahirRahmanirRahim, truly, those who say, our Lord is Allah, and afterwards stand straight and steadfast, the angels will come down to them, saying, do not fear and do not be sad, but hear good news of the paradise which you are promised. We are your awliya, your protecting friends in the dunya and in the akhirat. There you will have all that your souls desire and all that you ask for. A gift of welcome from one who is forgiving and merciful. And who is better in speech than one who invites to Allah and does righteousness and says, indeed, I am from the Muslims. The good deed and the evil deed are not equal. Repel the evil deed with the one which is better than the one between whom you and him was hatred becomes as though he was a devoted friend. But none is granted except those who are patient, and none is granted that except the owner of great happiness. Sadaqallah Azim. May all peace and blessings be upon the beloved of Allah, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, increase your salawats upon me, because salawat is the best means of repayment for your sins. Pray to Allah through my maqam and my intercession, because definitely in the court of Allah, taking me as a means is an intercession for you. May peace and blessings be upon him and his noble family and his blessed companions. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Abu Bakr Siddiq is my minister and the Khalifa of my ummah after me. Umar speaks upon my tongue. Ali is my cousin, my brother, and my flag bearer. And Osman is from me, and I am from Osman. May peace be upon them and upon all those who follow them until the last day. May peace and blessings be upon the Hajigan of the Naqshbandi way, the leaders of the caravan to Akhirat. May peace and blessings be upon the Ottoman Sultans, the guardians of the Ummah. May their shade return to shield the innocent, the oppressed, and the helpless. May their justice return as a punishment to fall upon the heads of the zalims. May Allah love those who love them. May Allah curse those who hate them. Amen. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun. O believers, welcome to you on this holy day of Jummah. Believers, listen and remember the words of our Ottoman Sultan, Sultan Murad III, who said, wake up, O my eyes, wake up. Wake up from your ghaflat, wake up. Wake up, O sleepy eyes, wake up. Azrael has made your life his target. Wake up. This world is passing. Don't get fooled. Don't vainly depend on your crown and your throne. Don't feel secure saying, the 7 climates are mine. Wake up, O my eyes. Wake up from ghaflat. The words of our Ottoman Sultan speak a reality that has been unchanging since Adam alayhi salam until today. Azrael alayhi salam has put a target on our backs, and death is right in front of us. We cannot outrun it, we cannot escape it. We are going to die, and we are going to meet our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are going to enter the grave, and we are going to be questioned. Are we going to rise on the day of judgment? And we are going to stand and answer for everything that we did while we had this breath of life. So how will we live? We must take guidance from the Holy Prophet ﷺ. We must take guidance from his friends, the awliya Allah, the beloved ones. Our Shaykh Sahib al-Saif is reminding us about death every day. And he is saying, we are not asking, not sitting to pray, to say, Ya Rabbi, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. We have become from the tyrants, Ya Rabbi, forgive us, Ya Rabbi. We are not asking that. We are all saying, what did we do? We are okay. What we did, why are they doing this to us? Don't look at what they are doing to you. Look at what you are doing to yourselves. Look what we are doing to ourselves in this dunya. Look what we are doing to ourselves in Akhirat. If Azrael is coming now, nobody is ready to go. You are not ready to go to the other side. That's what the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying. This nation will forget about death. And the believer is supposed to be ready for death. The believer is supposed to be ready for Azrael's coming. The believer is supposed to have his wudu. The believer has to run for his prayers. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, the believer has to be praying the prayer as if he is not going to reach to another prayer. This is how the believers are supposed to be. The believers have 100, 200 years of plans on the face of this earth. This is what happened to the believers today. And yes, we left the way of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Our Shaykh's words are haq words. Whoever follows just these words from now until the last breath, they would reach to safety. Shaykh Effendi is teaching us that we cannot live for this dunya and that death is awaiting us. And he's teaching us that when we are not living, knowing that death is in front of us, then we have left the way of the Holy Prophet. When you fear death, you have left the way of the Rasulullah ﷺ. And why is that? Because the fear of death comes from loving this dunya. When a man lives for akhirat and not for dunya, then he's not going to be afraid of death. Holy Prophet ﷺ told us about what our condition will be when we start to love dunya more than akhirat. And he told us the severe results of what will happen to us at that time. He ﷺ is saying, there will come a time for my ummah when they will love 5 things and they will forget 5 things. They will love this dunya and forget the life to come. They will love properties, but they will forget the grave. They will love wealth and forget the day of judgment. They will love their children and forget the truth. And they will love themselves and forget Allah. They have nothing to do with me and I have nothing to do with them. Astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayh. May Allah not make us to be in that category. We are in need of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. But do we understand how serious these words are? It is just like Shaykh Effendi is saying, if you fall in love with dunya and forget about death and akhirat, you are out from the way of Rasulullah. And he ﷺ will say about you, they have nothing to do with me. And I have nothing to do with them. May Allah protect us from such a fate. Hazrat Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anh said, every day the earth calls out 10 things, saying, O son of Adam, you struggle on my surface, but your destination is my stomach. You disobey Allah on my surface, but you will be punished for it in my stomach. You laugh on my surface, but you will cry in my stomach. You are happy on my surface, but you will be sad in my stomach. You gather wealth on my surface, and you will regret gathering it in my stomach. You are arrogant on my surface, but you will be humiliated in my stomach. You walk disrespectfully on my surface, and you will fall miserably into my stomach. You walk in the light of my surface, but you'll be in the darkness in my stomach. And you walk with crowds and large gatherings on my surface, but you will be lonely in my stomach. That grave is a reality for us. That grave that is waiting for you. It is waiting for me. It is either going to be a place of terror, or it's going to be a gateway to paradises. We must have the fear of turning that grave into a disaster for ourselves. Imam Ghazali is reporting that once Dawood alayhi salam heard a woman crying at her father's grave and saying, "You lost your life. And how can I live when you've been buried in the grave? How could I enjoy the taste of sleep when they put you to bed on your right side in the grave? Oh Baba, I wish I knew which one of your cheeks did the maggots begin." And when Hazrat Dawood heard this, he was struck down, unconscious. Sahibul Saif is giving us a very heavy warning about the grave, saying, the way you live, that's how you will die. The way you die, that's how you will be buried, and the way you are buried, that's how you will rise to the judgment day. If you didn't reach to the level of humanity, and you still have the characteristics of animal on your ego, if you die with the characteristics of your ego, whichever characteristic is showing itself at that time when Azrael is coming to you, as soon as they put you in the grave, you're going to turn into that. If you are a hyena, you are going to turn into that. If you're a snake, then you're going to turn into a snake. Meaning, if your actions, if your intentions, if your aims, if your thinking is to go to hurt, to go to do damage, to go to do arrogant and stubborn things, whichever animals they have, you are in that characteristic. And if you die during that time like that, as soon as you enter to the grave, you will become like that shape. You will get up to the judgment day, knowing that you were a human once, but you are no longer a human in that animal characteristic. They are not going to put you to the side of the animals too, completely separate, because the animals are not going to accept, saying, these are not from us. The humans are also not going to accept. And the words of the friends of Allah, they speak the truth. Shaykh Effendi is describing the man who lives on the right way, how he will be in the grave, saying, when man is concentrating, understanding, and living according to that, then his dunya becomes paradise. His world becomes paradise. His paradise is paradise, and his grave is a paradise. Fear goes away. Fear leaves that one, and shaitan runs away. The evils, they run away, and the evil people run away, because he is with Rahman, he is with Allah. Don't for a moment say to yourself, I am safe. The Sahaba Kiram did not say that. The Sahaba Kiram, they understood the reality of death. Who are the Sahabis? They are the ones that the Quran mentions them, that the Quran confirmed their words, that the Quran was addressing to them. Who is Farooq al-Azam? The one that Holy Prophet ﷺ said about him, Allah is pleased when Umar is pleased. Umar is pleased when Allah is pleased. Yet after he had been stabbed, and when he was coming closer to death, Hazrat Osman radiallahu anh came to visit him, and Hazrat Osman said that Hazrat Umar was resting with his head on the leg of his son, Hazrat Abdullah, and he told his son, lay my cheek on the ground. And his son said, oh father, is there a difference between my leg and the ground? And Hazrat Umar said, lay my cheek on the ground. May you lose your mother. Then Hazrat Umar said, disaster upon me, and disaster upon my mother, if Allah does not forgive me. And it was then that he passed away. This is Farooq al-Azam, the beloved of Allah and His Messenger, the guardian of the Muslims, the one whom the Prophet ﷺ said, if there was going to be a prophet after me, it was going to be Umar. If that is how he was thinking about death, then what about us? We should take the advice that he put on his ring. Death is enough of a reminder to you, Ya Umar. Holy Prophet ﷺ was asked, which of the believers are the best? And he said, those with the best character. When he was asked, which of the believers are the wisest? And he replied, those who remember death often and have best prepared for it with good deeds. Those are the wisest. We have the breath of life. We have the breath of life still. And so many of us, we are not tested in this world. But Sultan Murad III is saying, wake up. Wake up from ghaflat. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, race to do good actions as fast as you can. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for delayed poverty, oppressive wealth, debilitating illness, old age that makes you lose your senses, a swift death, or the Dajjal? Or are you waiting for an unseen evil or the last hour? The last hour will be most bitter and terrible. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ speak the truth. It means that we should wake up and we should run for Akhirat. We should not wait. We should not waste our time. Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim al-Haqqani, Sultan al-Awliya, is saying, now we are living on this world and Allah Almighty is sending Anbiya, the prophets, and the prophets are saying, O people, look, carry in through your short life as much as you can carry. Carry. What is that precious materials? That is good deeds and servanthood. And to believe, Iman. Look and take as much as possible, because you should find it. When dawn is coming and lights are getting up, you should know what it was you were collecting. What are good deeds and servanthood except helping others? Hazrat Ali Karmallah Wajha is saying, he who does not have the sunnah of Allah, the sunnah of His Messenger, and the sunnah of His chosen ones, they have nothing. It was asked, what is the sunnah of Allah? He replied, keeping secrets. It was asked, what is the sunnah of the Messenger? He replied, being gentle with people. It was asked, what is the sunnah of His chosen ones? And he replied, bearing people's harm. How were the Sahaba Kiram living? How was the master of our way, Siddiq al-Akbar, living? Hazrat Abu Hurairah is saying, Holy Prophet ﷺ said, who among you has woken up today fasting? Abu Bakr said, I have. The Prophet said, who among you has followed a funeral procession? Hazrat Abu Bakr said, I have. The Prophet said, who among you has fed a needy person? Abu Bakr said, I have. The Prophet said, who among you has visited a sick person? Abu Bakr said, I have. The Prophet said, these deeds are not combined in someone except that they will enter paradise. What is that except taking care of the needs of others? What is that except caring for others? What is that except sharing from yourself to help others? When we live like that, yes, we will be ready for death. And we will find peace in life and in death. Shaykh Effendi is saying, when the fear of death is there, no enjoyment in this life, and no enjoyment hereafter for you. You must get rid of it. The only way to get rid of it is turning yourself back to your Lord sincerely, to say, I am your servant. Every authority is in your hands, is not in my hands. I am a weak servant, forgive me. Sincerely ask, and look what happens then. Forgive me. Sincerely ask. As the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, in Akhir Zaman, the blessing also will be lifted. People are going to have everything, but they are not going to have the blessing. Is that what's happening? Yes, we have everything. There's no blessing. Because there's no blessing, no sharing, and no caring, nobody cares for nobody anymore. This is what happened to this nation, and we're going more deep, and more deep into troubles. For the blessing to come to our lives, we have to share. And we have to care for others. This is what Holy Prophet ﷺ taught his Sahabis. This is what our Grand Sheikhs have taught. This is what our Shaykh is teaching us. Care for them and share with them, and do not cause them any harm. We are living in this community and trying to live according to the words of Rasulullah ﷺ through our Shaykh, who said, the people most beloved to Allah are those who are most helpful to the people. And the most beloved deed to Allah is to make a Muslim happy, or remove one of his troubles, or to fulfill his debt, or to satisfy his hunger. Walking to fulfill the need of my brother, my Muslim brother, is more beloved to me than sitting in i'tikaf in a masjid for 2 months. Whoever turns away his anger, Allah will cover his faults. And whoever puts down his anger while he is able to express it, Allah will fill his heart with happiness. Whoever walks with his brother to fulfill his needs and fulfills it for him, then Allah Ta'ala will make his footing firm on the sirat, on the day when the footings are shaken. Evil character spoils one's deeds, just as vinegar spoils honey. Our Shaykh left this Jamaat as an inheritance, a trust for us. Within this Jamaat, we can try to fulfill this hadith, to live as the Sahaba Kiram lived. We should wake up. Wake up and don't drop it. And never forget, we cannot go anywhere without the Shafa'at. That is why Sultan Murad is saying at the end of his poem, forgive me, your servant Murad. Excuse my mistakes. Erase my bad deeds. Raise me under the flag of the Rasul ﷺ. Wake up, O my eyes. Wake up from ghaflat. Wake up, O my sleepy eyes. Wake up. We are in need of the intercession of our Prophet and our Shaykh for safety in this life, in the grave, and on Judgment Day. Without that, we will have no safety. Shaykh Maulana is saying, Allah's beloved servants are such that if you sit with them, you will not be unfortunate. It means you won't be from the people of hell. That is their miracle. If you are with the great ones, you will pass away from this world with their mercy and intercession. You will be together with these people in their maqams. We're asking through the intercession of our Shaykh. We're asking and hoping to be with them, to be among them, to be joined with them in this life and the next life. May we be raised under the flag of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. May we be raised under the flag of our Shaykh. May our death be clean with shahadat and with our promise kept. May we be from those that Allah is pleased with. May we find help. May we find energy to run to help others. May we become more generous. And may we follow our Shaykh, whose name is Abdul Karim. May we live in this community the way that the Sahaba Kiram lived. in a community. May Allah open our way to haqq and His pleasure. May He keep us at the door of tawbah and shukr. May He keep us away from the door of complaining. May we keep our promise to our Shaykh. May we die with shahadat. May we be raised behind the beloveds of Allah. May our sohbat with our Shaykh continue in this life and the next life and beyond. Amen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. La ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وهو على كل شيء. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب.
وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إسماعيل عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا داود عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا سليمان عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا زكريا عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يحيى عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا أرميا عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا شعياء عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إلياس عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا اليسع عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا ذو الكفل عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يوشع عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا محمد